Yo, here's another video, 200 Nihlatak Pindleskin runs, and I think my morning voice, pre-coffee voice, is kind of perfect to talk about, running and killing zombies and shit. So, I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. Um, anyway, to start the video off, I just wanted to show the gear that I was using. Just so that you could compare basically to what you have and expect similar or different results. Since doing 200 runs takes quite a bit of time. Yeah, so Hodo and Spirit, just for the, damage and faster cast rate. Mage Fist, since I'm a meteorb sorc. War Travelers for magic find. 3 pieces Telrasha gear just for the magic find, as well as the plate really looks cool and I just want to use it no matter what. Um, this amulet kind of sucks, but it's really the best I have for +2 skills. It's pretty much the only I have for +2 skills. Dwarf Star for Fire Absorb, since Nihlatak's Corpse Explosion deals 50% physical, 50% fire. So just to make sure I'm safe there. And Nature's Peace for the Slain Monsters Rest in Peace, which was an absolutely huge help for doing these Nihlatak runs. They have CTA on Switch. It's not a good one, but again, the best I have with a Spirit. So with this gear with bow up, I have around 2k life, maxed out resistances. I have some magic find in my inventory. The rest are just plus life and then a bit of resistances. And in total I have 295 magic find. So that's the gear I was using to do these 200 runs. And with that said, let's move into the footage of actual runs. I did in total 200 Nihlatak and Pindleskin runs. Now, to be completely fair, I did like 10 extra of them just before I started recording, and a few great items dropped. One of them was Ariad's face. It's a pretty rare, unique Barbarian's helmet. So it just kind of shows you all the RNG Diablo kind of has to it. The way I did these runs was basically I was killing all the champion packs along the way, except minions like those ones, those frenzy annoying guys, as well as flayers who are fire immune, and since I'm a meteorb sorc, it's just a hassle to deal with all of them. The reason why I'm killing all these minions is because this is one of the highest areas in the game. So essentially every single item in the game can drop from the champion packs. And of course, there's some experience to be gained from them as well. Though I'm not quite sure about this one, but probably there is. Anyway, all in all, it was pretty dangerous to make these runs. Now, this clip in particular was probably the most dangerous run I've had in all those 200 ones. I almost died like 4 or 5 times. And it just goes to show you what happens when those Tomb Vipers spawn in places they usually don't, and when you kind of just don't expect them. So, yeah, for a hardcore character who doesn't have this crazy high-end gear that allows you just to go straight to Nihlatak, ignore everything, just one-shot him and get the fuck out, I wouldn't really recommend these runs. That's probably the biggest disadvantage, even though I had Nature's Peace ring for the monsters rest in peace mod. It still was pretty dangerous just because of all those frenzy guys along the way, of all those curse mods, and of course Tomb Vipers. Now, to be completely fair, I did get 8 destruction keys from Nihlatak in all these runs, which is around 0.8 key per 20 runs. just to give you a rough idea of how many runs you need to do if you're going for those torches. I also was receiving around 0.7 million of experience per run. So that's quite a decent bit, like around 200 runs, a bit more maybe, and you can get all the way from level 90 to 91. That's not something to ignore. All in all, after seeing all the drops, I wouldn't really do this again. The no drop chance on Nihlatak at Players 1 is just crazy. And to do it on a higher player count, you really need better gear than I was wearing. Yeah, so with all that said, the way I was trying to do these runs in order to stay as safe as I could was basically teleport all the way here, clear out this zone so I have a backup plan so that nobody comes from behind. Then teleport to this spot and have my Merc taunt all the minions in the bottom right corner, so that I would have a safe space to move down where there's no corpses. Yeah, so I moved down to the bottom right corner, away from all the battle, away from all the corpses happening up there, and I can kill Nihlatak safely from afar. Just as you can see here, just a second, yeah, I'm moving down, and there's no minions nearby, there's no corpses, corpse explosion won't reach me. Right, so that's it for the intro, now this time for sure, and let's get into the GG drops. The first one happens only 25 runs in, and it's a lightning facet, not the perfect one, but it's something. Then around run 52, so again 25 runs of absolutely nothing, I get Ethereal Duriel's Shell, which is pretty awesome budgety thing. I'll probably use it myself after upping it. 4 runs later, Pindleskin finally drops something. It's a rare amulet and a Fury Visor. The amulet is pretty nice, though I do have a better one. And the Fury Visor is Wolf Howl. I'm not sure how good it is, but I imagine it's pretty rare. Then 40 runs later, roughly, at run 93, I get a really GG item. Unfortunately, I do have a couple of them, so it's not as great for me. But it's still Tarasha's plate. So, I mean, you gotta appreciate it. 112 runs in, I get a drop from just a champion pack. I already have several of them, but it's still one of the key items for a lot of caster class characters. Then 120 runs in, I get a pretty nice drop from Nihlatak. I'm not sure how useful it is in single player. Ondal Staff for the extra experience gain combined with Annie. I know it used to be used quite a bit on Battle.net, but not sure about single player. Never tried it myself. Anyway, 125 runs in from a random champion pack. I get a pretty nice large charm. It's not something high-end, but it's still 8 faster hit recovery and all resistance is 8. So I'll probably be using that anytime I want to reach that specific faster hit recovery frame. Nothing drops for the next 40 runs, and then at run 162, I get actually a double drop. One is from Pindleskin. It's an Immortal's King armor. Unfortunately, I have it. I also found it from one of those halls of Vought or Not or whatever. So it's not as nice, but it's still a pretty good item. And the second item that drops is just from a random champion pack. It's a Matriarchal Javelin, Thunderstrokes. Not sure about the roll on it. Too lazy to check how good it can roll. But it's a pretty decent item for Javazons or for Boazons just to have on Switch to kill those lightning immunes. And 169, I think, that's the run. Or 172, somewhere around that. I think my last good item drops, which is actually a pretty decent rune, just from random minion, just because I had to clear all my way to Nihlatak. And that's actually about it. I found 6 good items from these 2 bosses in 200 runs. So comparing these results to Mephisto, it's kind of underwhelming. But then again, I was playing on players 1, so I guess it's kind of understandable. But yeah, that's pretty much all the items that dropped. And like I said, I personally wouldn't do this again just because of the no drop chance of Nihlatak, just because of how dangerous it is to actually do these runs. And yeah, I mean, if you have better gear than I do, perhaps it makes sense to you. Or if you just really want to level up while farming, that's probably the only option except for Bale and Chaos Sanctuary. But one of them takes too much time, the other one is perhaps just as dangerous as doing these runs. So all in all, underwhelming experience, and yeah, I hope this video kind of discourages you guys from spending as much time as I did here and just spend it on something better like perhaps Mephisto or, Ancient Tunnels and shit. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Cheers for watching, and looking forward to any kind of feedback if I can finally receive any. Cheers.